So, ladies and gents, welcome to the second lesson. Now, in this second lesson right here, we're going to be discussing about how AI has completely changed, of course, branding and design. And we're going to be doing this by analyzing what used to happen in the past and which of these elements, which special parts, all right, of this whole framework of branding can be now completely outsourced to artificial intelligence, and which parts should also be kept intact in order to preserve the magic of branding in the first place. So we all know that the creative revolution is here with artificial intelligence. I think and I believe that it's well established from the previous lesson of this course that the creative revolution is here. Again, AI, up until this point, used to be limited in language models, and now it has also infiltrated the design space, right? So it's also game over for regarding robotic, repetitive tasks in the design world. For the first time in history, creativity itself has become truly accessible to anyone. You no longer need a fancy degree or a huge team, or again, to literally spend tens of thousands of dollars every single month to hire a huge, again, group of people or expensive software to build something beautiful. Anyone can build something with AI, right? Which will look like it has been built by professionals, right? With AI, ideas are the new currency, right? The new challenge, if you will, is how far can imagine, right? How big can you think? And again, the people who learn to guide AI with vision and emotion, these are the creators who will shape again this world of design in the next years, right? So pretty much what I'm saying is that all you need to have is a vision, creativity, and emotion, right? And all of the other boring, practical stuff, they can be completely outsourced to AI. So, what used to happen before AI, right? Let's analyze the old way of branding. So, if we just think back, again, a few years ago, we don't need to go back decades ago, branding was super slow, super expensive, and intimidating, right? And that's why it was expensive, and that's why it was also slow, right? Because there wasn't enough competition, so it was cool for marketing and branding teams to be super super slow, right? It was super expensive because multiple people were engaged in these, again, branding strategies, and also intimidating because businesses, especially creative businesses, did not know how to brand because information itself wasn't that democratized some years ago. And you can take the example of me. I was ready to pay $10,000 to have a rebrand my business rebranded, right? And this wasn't even like 10 years ago. This happened like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, before I created my first Canva AI course and before I understood the power of Canva AI. So again, usually you need to hire designers, you need to wait weeks and pay thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, all to get a logo, right, that might not even feel like you. So every revision that these people made took more time, more money, and more compromise. So it was a lose lose, but like win for, of course, the branding teams. So creativity was limited by resources, but not imagination. The bottleneck was on the resources, not on the imagination, right? Because you might have, for example, a big vision, you might have dreams regarding your brand, but you were limited regarding the resources. But this world is completely right for the past. With artificial intelligence, you literally have no barriers regarding these resources we talked about. So pretty much now, a single person, a single creator can do the work of an entire team. And I saw this awesome social media post, right, the day before, which stated that introverts back in the day, they were completely screwed because back in the day, if you didn't have a team, if you didn't have a way to communicate with people and collaborate with people, it was game over for you, right? But the introverts nowadays, right, can literally sit in a room by themselves, engage with AI, and make millions, if you will, right? Because it's possible. You can create a whole business. You can create the content for this business. You can create products with AI. You can brand, right? If you're an introvert and you know how to work with AI perfectly, it's game over, right? So in minutes nowadays, going back to, again, branding with AI, you can create logos, color palettes, and full visual identities for your brands, all guided by your taste. The only thing you need to have is creativity. And of course, this is not just a one-shot thing. You can keep refining and experimenting pretty much endlessly without fear of wasting time or wasting budget. So again, AI has completely democratized design, giving power back to individuals that have vision. And that's all I'm asking for you to have equipped with you when coming to this course right here. Just a vision and the ability to elaborate, right, what you want to create to these AI algorithms. So what used to take weeks can now happen between your morning coffee and your next idea, just like that, right? So what is the new role of the creator? Because the shift of bottlenecks, if you will, the complete removal of the bottleneck on the resources side of things, right, has completely shifted the roles. So AI doesn't make you less creative, right? It just makes you more powerful. And I can back that up. Again, I'm a very creative dude. And many people would say that, when AI came into the creative field like a year ago, creators were alarmed. But nowadays, I can guarantee you that I'm like twice or three times more creative than I was like a year ago, just because AI has enhanced my creativity rather than, replace it or suppress it. So you're no longer a designer buried, for example, in details. You are the director of your brand story, right? And that's all you're called to be. AI takes care of the mechanics. You can focus on only emotion, meaning, and message. The true skill nowadays is knowing how to communicate with AI, right? How to turn those ideas of yours into prompts and prompts into art. It is extremely, extremely important for you to understand how to communicate and engage with these AI. Because, of course, Canva AI has a built in language model, right? We engage with AI by prompting AI, by giving a set of directions that the AI will understand, it will recognize, and it will implement. That's why in this course right here, I'm also going to be including a lesson around prompting. It's super important for you to understand how to prompt correctly. So this course will teach you how to exactly do that, right? Communicate with AI and gain the exact output that you're looking for, right? So, of course, by engaging with Canva AI, you unlock a completely different level of speed, productivity, consistency, and freedom. In the old world, right before AI was, infiltrated this graphic design world, this branding world, maintaining a consistent brand across dozens of designs was almost impossible, right? And across like multiple platforms, right? But now these tools ensure that every post, every thumbnail, every presentation feels unified and super professional. And you don't even need to spend like mental energy and mental power in order to achieve this, right? This consistency builds trust, and trust builds connection. So you finally get to spend your energy on vision, not repetition. So imagine the freedom of literally focusing on only storytelling while AI handles the execution. That's the only thing that you're required to do. So this is how the new creative workflow looks like, right? It's completely changed forever, by the way. Like the creative process is completely changed forever. You, the creator, the only thing you need to do is to imagine, right? To dream. And you are called to dream big. Try to dream like bigger than ever. That's your number one goal, right? After that, it is time to bring these ideas into the real world. And we do this with AI. So AI bring these ideas to life instantly. Now, a huge, let's say, mistake that people do when starting to engage with AI, kind of prematurely, is that they give AI like the big idea and they just ask AI to execute it, which I find is wrong after engaging with AI for multiple years up until this point. What I love to do when engaging with artificial intelligence is having a huge dream, breaking it down, right, into multiple, let's say, actionable steps to achieve this dream. And you can, of course, use AI to break down your, let's say, vision into smaller actionable goals, and then take each one of these goals and potentially even break this goal down into, let's say, bullet points or steps to achieve this goal, and then ask for AI to do it for you, if you will, right? So after you generate, it's time to refine. Engaging with AI is exactly that. It's engagement. You just don't just give one prompt and then disappear. And if this one, answer that you get from this prompt doesn't work, you disappear. You need to engage with AI. You can just keep on refining and refining and refining until you get the exact output that you wish. So this dance between human right? And AI is where the real magic happens. And this is where your real creative advantage will come from. When you combine emotion with automation, the result isn't mechanical, it's super, super alive. And the more you engage with AI, the more you tweak, the more you refine, right, the information that you're given from artificial intelligence, the more special it will become. So let's talk about some myths about AI and creativity before we wrap up with these lessons. So the first one is that AI kills originality. Of course, I think that we've established up until this point that this is completely false. What AI does is that it multiplies your options. So you choose the one that feels most you. That's it. It simply multiplies the options that you have as a creative professional. And the more you engage with AI, the better prompt you give to AI, right? Of course, the more options will be aligned to your vision you will be given, right? The second myth is that AI makes everyone's work look the same. And of course, this is also false, right? It would be true if everyone thinks the same, but we do not think the same. Everyone is super special because we're human beings, right? So the way that we navigate with artificial intelligence and the way that we prompt is completely different. So no, everyone's work doesn't look the same, right? Vision and creativity still wins, right? Let's move to the third myth, which is that AI replaces designers. And that's also kind of wrong. AI replaces inefficiency, not imagination. If a designer is able to produce work that AI is also able to produce, but faster and more accurately, and it can transform the creator's vision, right, and bring the creator's vision into life faster, then AI will not replace him, right? Again, AI replaces inefficiency. It just removes this bottleneck from the resources side and just, again, takes it somewhere else. So the truth here is that AI is only as creative as the human using it. And that's just a fact. So what are some real world transformations here that you can expect, right? And are already happening up to this point. The first one is that freelancers are launching six-figure brands entirely built on Canva AI. It is totally possible. I've seen it over and over again, and you will unlock the potential with this, right? Entrepreneurs, they're creating stunning visuals that once required full agencies to be delivered upon. And these agencies are now, out of business just because you can do this with kind of AI. Students are turning class projects into full-blown businesses, right? It's so easy nowadays to pinpoint a small problem. I know that we're navigating, a bit outside of the concept of this course right here, which is Canva AI for rebranding and branding. But students are literally pinpointing problems that they see in their everyday life in college and university. And now they're turning business to solve these problems just because creating a business, right, and providing value on a mass scale is so accessible now with AI. And you can pack everything into a brand with Canva AI so beautifully. So the barrier between, hey, I have an idea and I just build it has never been thinner. It's not hype. It's literally happening right now. So what Canva can't replace, right? Canva can replace wonder, passion, purpose, right? It can't feel this stuff. It doesn't have a purpose. This is you. These are human traits. It can't also decide what matters to your audience because it doesn't know your audience. You know your audience the best, right? And if you follow the other course that I have in this profile right here, you probably know your audience a bit too well because we've outlined it so many times and I've highlighted the importance of knowing your target avatar, knowing the ideal persona that you're targeting so well. So the heart of every great brand is human emotion. And that's something that no algorithm can replicate. I need you to remember that. So the world doesn't need more designs. It needs designs that mean something. And this right here is your advantage. So what's happening next? The future belongs to those who learn to create with AI and not compete against it, right? And you being here in this course means that you want to learn how to use AI and you're not just, stuck in this pile of people that go like, AI, I don't even want to engage with it. I'm super afraid. So this is good, right? Your ideas will travel faster, they will reach further, and they will impact more people than ever before. So in the next lesson of this course, and do not worry, the theoretical lessons are over, we're stepping inside of Canva AI itself. We're going to be exploring Canva AI's tools on real time, all of the different possibilities, all of the different tools that we're going to be engaging with, right? And I'm going to show you how to create and how to turn Canva AI into your creative partner, right? So let's launch Canva AI and let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is going to be so cool and I'm super excited about this. See you in the next lesson.